This is Sudeep Bandyopadhyay, market expert, also joining us this afternoon. Arpit, first to you. How are you looking at markets? Hi, Sudeep. Good afternoon to you too.
Very good afternoon to all. If you see headline indices, so Nifty has been outperformer so far in last couple of days. We have seen good rally from 23,700 to 24,350, 24,400 levels. But if we see the bigger structure on the weekly time frame, Nifty is still trading in a range between 23,600 to 24,550 levels. And our sense is that till it doesn't surpass about 24,550 on closing basis or on the downside below 23,600 levels, index is likely to be in a range between this broader range as some support is provided by IT index due to which Nifty is relatively outperforming. If we talk about Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty has been relatively underperformer. It has also got stuck in a range on the weekly time frame between 56,500 to 58,000, a broader range. On the immediate range, 56,500 to 57,500 levels. So if you see, the private banks are still underperforming, due to which Bank Nifty is relatively subdued. So index front, there's a very range bound movement within that broader range. If we talk about sectors wise, so we are seeing good action in selective pharma names, selective IT names rebound from the lower levels. So it's more of a sector and stock specific approach, and the sector that stands quite strong is pharma index. So pharma index, if you see structural story on the monthly time frame, it's a very strong uptrend. And within that, if you looks like chart structure of Divi's Lab, Apollo Hospital, Sun Pharma, a very strong counter on the monthly time frame. So we would be bullish on the pharma index as a whole for next couple of months. Apart from that, very selective stock specific action is going on from last couple of days.
Okay. All right. And stock tilt. Curious to know, Arpit, do you have some stock preferences?
So as we discussed from the pharma sector itself, so pharma sector, if you look at the charts of Divi's Lab, Sun Pharma and Apollo Hospital, so Divi's Lab has seen a good rally in last couple of days, has given a classical range breakout on the monthly time frame over 7,000 levels. So positionally, our target still stands to be around 8,000 and then 8,500 levels. Second counter that has just come out of its major consolidation is Sun Pharma, above 1950 levels. So I think Sun Pharma also monthly set a very strong bullish candle, range breakout after couple of after almost 15 to 20 months. So slowly steady the stock can head towards 2100, 2200 levels positionally. So Sun Pharma will be a preferred pick within the pharma space with major support around 1900 levels. The stock can head towards 2200 levels positionally.
Is up 5.5%, nearly 5.5% in trade on the back of a strong set of numbers, margins coming in with a good amount of strength as well. Arpit, let me ask you for a chart check on an LT Foods.
If you see overall, I was just looking at the weekly setup. So from last almost 8 to 10 weeks, the stock was trading in a range between 360 to 396 level. And today, finally, the stock is given a major breakout above 393 levels, and that also coincide with this 200 demo. So I think looking at the setup wise, risk reward wise is comparatively favorable. With 3890, 92 was the previous hurdle zone. Once it closes above this level, we can see upside move towards 420 to 425 levels. Along with that, one good part is that volumes also has been significant. So I think closing above 393 will definitely give a head start towards 420 levels. So overall kind of a buy on dip till major support around 385 for an upside move towards 420 plus levels.
Okay. Redington was the other one, which came out with a very strong set of numbers. I'm not sure, Sudeep, whether you track a stock like Redington, but I mean, the numbers look strong. The management commentary looked upbeat. And then you have certain competitors like Rashi Peripherals as well within the same kind of cohort or space. You believe that this space is looking to start heating up largely because you've got this entire view. What do you do on KPIT Tech if you hold a position? And if not, then do you initiate a fresh position at this point of time?
If I see overall the IT index and looking the chart of KPIT particularly on the monthly time frame, the structure of lower is intact from last couple of months. So some pullback was seen, but if I look at the structure on the monthly setup, it looks still weak. And in spite of good recovery in the IT index as a whole, we haven't seen much recovery in this counter. So definitely the underperformance is likely to go. And it's the best way is to avoid such counters as there are better opportunities in other sectors. So first question, if I want to enter a fresh position, I will definitely ignore this position for a medium to long term bet, because the structure doesn't give any rebound within the structure wise. Apart from that, if we see from the IT index as a whole, good bounce back move is seen in the entire Nifty IT index from its major support zone. So I'll go with options such as Persistent or HCL Tech within the similar space to play a bounce back move comparatively that are placed better on the monthly time frame.
And Arpit, quickly, what's the sense with regard to M&M? Any of the other auto stocks looking interesting, if not M&M?
Definitely. So if we talk about auto index, apart from Tata Motors, we've seen good recovery across the auto index as a whole. And looking at the chart structure of TVS Motor, M&M, Eicher. So M&M also good base formation near 3200 levels. On the upper band, 34 is the immediate hurdle levels. Once it surpasses that, we can see good move towards 3600 levels positionally. Apart from that, TVS Motor and Eicher Motor looks very strong. So they're trading near life high territory, and definitely looking at the setup wise, we can expect good momentum of 8 to 10% rally also from here on. So TVS Motor followed by Eicher, and then M&M would be a preferred picks within the auto space as a whole.
TVS, Eicher, M&M. We'll take a pause on the conversation. We'll slip into a break, come back. We'll pull out a small snippet of our conversation with the management of KPIT Tech, give you a little bit of a sense on what they said. Continue that conversation on the other side. Stay with us. Now, this afternoon, of course, we continue to have Arpit as well as Kunal. Arpit, just again, I'm trying to figure out what should one do in a market. Hi, very good afternoon. Which is becoming extremely stock specific, right? What do you do if for example, you're looking at a space like Redington, the kind of 8.5% move, Arpit? What next on this one?
See, definitely, if you see from last couple of weeks, a very stock specific and sector specific and result impact across space we are seeing, where the stocks are moving up by 10% on the upside or on the lower side. If I look at the technical structure of Redington, so if I see the monthly setup from June 2025, the stock corrected from 340 to 220 levels, and a very sharp recovery was seen from the lower levels, and now back again at its life high territory. So from an intraday perspective, definitely some profit booking is seen at the higher levels, and the level to watch out would be 333. So that is the previous all-time high levels. Look in the monthly setup, the setup is still strong. However, on the daily setup, some cool off is seen from the high levels. So all in all, if you see from the position setup, 280 to 290 would be a major support levels. On the upside, 333 and then 360 would be the positional target to watch out for. So overall, in a dull market also, the stock is outperforming. That definitely gives a signal that the relative strength is strong and the stock is likely to reclaim its previous all-time high and hit a new life high territory going forward.
It's been there's been immense amounts of churn, right, in a market like this. Arpit, what do you bet on in terms of sectors and what do you avoid at this point of time? Maybe over the next till midweek of next week, what should the kind of sector bias be?
We would like to go with two sectors. That would be pharma sector on the positive side, along with the auto sector. So within the pharma sector, likes would be Sun Pharma, Apollo Hospital, and Divi Lab. As the structurally on the all the time frame, they are very strong. Though they have seen a good move, but looking at the structure wise, we can see definitely more upside for next 10 to 15 days. Along with that, the auto basket also, we'd like to go with stick with TVS Motor, Eicher Motors, and followed by M&M. So this would be a couple of ideas on the positive side for next 15 days play on the positive side. Apart from that, if we see sectors that are relatively underperforming, sectors such as railways, selective FMCG, so that would be on the short side idea that we need to play with. So this is a market where you have to go with selective long side counters along with that few selective short side counters to make a balanced approach for a positional setup.